Oh, I guess, sorry, I used it on my hands, just absent-mindedly, but
That's all right, you can use it after the brushes.
true,
No
yes.
problem.
I know that's what it was for, but I just,
Hi, good afternoon. I'll just let this load up. I know you're probably seeing that little notification on the top of your screen, on your computer, your iPad, your phone. Please click that link and join us today for Studio Central's live art demonstration from Upbeat Artworks in Portage Place Shopping Center. That was a mouthful. So before we get into it, I'm just going to give a bit of background about who we are, if you're not familiar. So we are here every Friday live doing art demonstrations. We are a part of Artbeat Studio. Artbeat Studio is a not-for-profit registered charity, and we really believe in the healing power of art and how art can facilitate mental wellness and just a sense of grounding. And we really seek to foster a creative community for our folks. So we are thankful that we can be here every Friday to do this with you. So whether you actually participate or whether you just watch, we think creativity and being here with you is just a cool way to feel relaxed, feel good, especially on a Friday. This Friday before the long weekend. So we are going to be doing something really fun today. We have this really cool thing called a kindness garden. So at Studio Central here in Portage Place, if you come visit us, we're on the second floor, just past the Dollarama. You can't miss us. We're on the right-hand side. We have something called a kindness garden where we have rocks that are painted. They have beautiful images on them. They have words, and you can take a rock or you can give a rock. And it's just a way to keep that flow, that community creative flow happening with Studio Central. So we are going to be making some rocks to continue filling that kindness garden. So Kate is leading us today. So I will just flip this around so we can see Kate.
Hello, seeing you again today.
Hi, Kate.
Hi everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm going to do something relaxing today to make myself feel better for the long weekend. Hopefully everyone catches on. I want to start with something not actually related to painting, but it's the way rocks can be displayed. So one of the ways of how rocks can be displayed is buying the stands from Amazon or stores in Winnipeg. I'm not sure if stores in Winnipeg have this exact size, because I know the Dollar Tree sells the bigger size that is good for bigger rocks, but this is what I came up with through several months of research, which was not really deep research, just going on Amazon and looking what they have. And also some I bought from eBay. So the first option, these are for coins. This is the size that is used for keeping smaller rocks and coins, and they're also called coin holders, I think.
And you use that for display,
But
right?
this is something
Cool.
I made for my friend, and this rock can come together with this
Cool.
cute display. So this is inch something. I never remember the smallest numbers there. So this is the smallest size, I believe. Then this is size 3, which can be used for rocks like mandalas. Cannot really see from. This is a beautiful mandala by Barbara Samson.
That's beautiful.
Oh, sorry. And these are very breakable, the smaller ones. So if they stand, it's better to not touch them too much. So this is something that holds it, but also might be a solution for, this is from my friend Jen, and it might be holding by some point, but it's not the best for smaller size, as an example. So if I put this rock on here, it still holds, but I like it on this display more. It's like size related. This rock also can go on a display like this, and it's settling, like it feels like it's more steady.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
beautiful.
There are bigger rocks that are something like that. You see, it's round shape, so it's not really. It's hard to put it on a display like this. So if I try, I might break it, but it won't hold the best. You see, it just. Even if it settles, it will slide off. So
Yeah.
this is the best option for this kind of rocks that I found. I cannot see it if I put it evenly or not, but this is not an even rock. And then there is this kind. which-
Kate.
This is my personal rock from Kate Lev, great artist, and I have this one, so I can put it on this display, and this is the way it's in my on my shelf. These ones I bought from eBay, I think, but they're available on Amazon. I've seen them on Amazon.
Okay,
But
nice.
I think when I was buying them, I didn't see them on Amazon.
Yeah.
So this is from some time ago, and these are very, very comfortable for rocks like this. They also have the nice angle. This rock is kind of small for it, but this is the rock that is waiting for my friend. So this is the one I'm gifting to, and this is the display it can be on.
Nice.
So I just want to pass this to you so we can look at it. This one. Mandala can be displayed on this, but it actually is nice if it is placed a little bit lower. And then this option is available too, but also it stands well on this stand. So this is an option. All three work, and it just needs to be put in a nice
Yeah.
way.
Cool.
This is probably the best, most stable one. It just does not, like this rock will not be the perfect one. So this one is preferable because it settles better. Yeah, so they're all, this is rock and mineral stand, so it's specifically for rocks.
Cool.
Not painted rocks, but it could be for any rocks. that
Yeah,
you have in
yeah,
your
definitely.
collection. And then this one, it doesn't have to be a rock, it could be something like that, but it's really hard to actually put it the way it looks the
Yeah.
best. But it's possible too. Okay, so these are options available on Amazon and eBay. I did not check in any other places. So this one.
And also today we have, while we're looking at this, hi Marnie.
Hello.
This is Marnie. She's going to be working with us today as we work on these beautiful red rocks.
I base coated them all the same color.
Yeah.
As much time as I could spend on it yesterday. Yeah, so again, this is Kermit. Hi.
So good.
All right, so this is the introduction to a little bit of display ideas for what someone who haven't tried it yet. Anyone can try and buy
Yeah.
this from Amazon. Okay, I'm moving to another step. I tried these brushes from Mustache. Where is the box? I put it somewhere here. Here, so these are the brushes I'm giving. They also have the dotting tool.
Okay.
One dotting tool, and they have the brush like this. So I'm going to try this today on rocks and see how that goes. Also all the other ones. Also we got paint markers from Amazon. These are
Posca.
markers.
Yeah.
Baby wipes, water, all acrylic paint that I brought, and Mod Podge and glitter paint. And also we have dotting tools.
So we have a lot of options for our
So these
to
are
be creative.
dotting. So
Nice.
this is an option. But our first choice would be a photograph from my friend Alex Avni. This particular photo was taken in Israel, in Park Ayarkon. This is the place I remember well, but I did not really pay attention to flowers.
That's beautiful.
And I'm not completely sure if it's his photograph or his wife's Olga's photograph. It was the same camera, so I might assume that it's her photograph. But anyway, I messaged and asked about using this photograph because I thought it's a nice wildflowers. I researched on the name a little bit.
Oh, is this the hollyhocks?
Hollyhocks, yeah.
Now I get it.
But I'm not sure it's the exact same flower. Like there are different variations growing in different places.
It's definitely a variation because that's giving me like that hollyhock vibes. Yeah.
Well, it looks like a hollyhock, but it might be a different variant that is not native to
Yeah.
North America.
If anyone at home is watching, you see this picture. So we're pretty sure these are hollyhocks, but if you know if there's a more technical name for this variant, please let us know.
Let us know, because this was the solution of, I didn't have the exact name for it, so I was just facilitating a workshop,
Yeah.
and everyone agreed on that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they were hollyhocks. So I just say, okay, yes, I don't know, I'll just go with it.
Yeah.
And I looked it in the Wikipedia, so I could know the Russian name, because I go by Russian name
Yeah.
usually, and it's not something I would even know. I was not paying too much attention to flowers, probably, that are wildflowers.
Yeah.
But,
Cool.
Anyway,
They're beautiful.
We're going to try, and I do not say, as you see rocks, I just base coated them with a glove, with both gloves, one color. So what we're going to do, if you do not like red, you can reapply other colors, but I think we could try and make them on red, which is quite an interesting task.
Yeah.
Too. So we'll try.
Sure.
So
I'm gonna move this around.
You take 1, 2 extra. I'm keeping for Studio Central if someone wants to bring them after. All right. Now, also after this step we're going with just free flow. So we're going to make something else, but we'll just start with what we have here. This image, again, Alex Avni is the name of the artist, the name he preferred to go by. And I'm trying this brush. I don't know how it goes. I can try.
Oh, it's right behind you.
And also, I got this brush. I got this. So I do like the brushes that are pointy. But I also have other choices. This is more for thicker brush strokes from Dollarama. This is a set of flats. And then I have this. I do not know if I want to apply it on any of the rocks, but I can try and see how that goes.
Okay.
All right. So we can start.
Sweet. Okay, we've got a nice little full view.
Okay. So the colors I need for this are reds. I will need to mix the red and blue for the center. For the purple, maybe this blue is better. I don't know. I can try. And then I need greens. I need 2 different greens. So I will just take these colors.
Nice. That looks good. Sweet.
Do we know how, like, does the acrylic dry fairly quickly on rock if I were to do a background color that's different from
It
the
will
red?
take some time.
It'll take time?
Yeah, it will take some time. But I'm going to try and mix. We actually have this. Might work. I don't know. I can try this as well. Tiny bit of brown. And then we have different greens here as well. I do not see any purples, but my assumption would be we could try and mix.
Be careful with your clothing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So blue and red, blue I used was navy blue. So this is for the center.
I can use this one.
Yeah, you also can use just violet or dark reds, but it has a little tiny bit of blue in it. Okay, so I would probably go with the stem first, and I'll try this brush. Let's see how that works. So this is the stem that goes up.
What would you create the stem?
Yeah. Okay, it goes up all the way.
That kind of brush?
Yeah.
I think you have that one.
Oh, do I? This one?
Yeah, I think that would work. Eh?
It's a little bit hard for someone who is not used to curved brush.
Yeah.
Do you want to try it?
I don't know. I wouldn't be as confident with a curved brush.
Yeah. My thinking, it would be refocusing, so I will use the brush I was using usually. So it goes a little bit up. So just painting those little.
And are we using the dark green or the lighter green?
I use both.
Both.
So I use dark green, and then on top I can use the lighter one.
Oh, my hand's shaking. Great.
It's the detail. It's the when I do detail work, I'm not. My hand shakes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like the concentration. Yeah.
So I'm painting two of this. Some of them go up, some of them go down, and I see the flower that is the most opened, they go up. But this is not as open, that could be the wind. And the curled ones, the more curled ones look like they're not as open, but it could be something that is not typical for sunflower, so I don't know. I'm not a person who knows much about them. Okay. And then if someone wants a different shade of green, you can always add black, a tiny bit of black if you want, like on really like to darken it, but not much black, just to mix it in green or add it on the side. Also, we could use a little tiny bit of brown. This is the shade that I see on some of them, not on all of them. So it can be mixed with green as well. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create, I will take a white paint marker or a paint, or just white paint, and go around them to make them more visible. Okay. Then I'm making the flower. Okay, I forgot to put white. That's weird. I need white. Okay, white to everyone. Everyone gets white. So,
Just start using little dots to create that little flower, or not the plant part.
there could be dots, there could be, it's up to you how you want to. And they're more opened on one side and they go to the sides. So, here. A little bit closed. And partially it will be closed with the grass, or with leaves and grass in the front. You can see some. Okay, then I will take pink, pink, pink.
Other thing too I like when we do stuff like this is how the three of us are all working on the same picture, but the three of us are getting very different.
And then the results are
very different.
different.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And we could throw in some red, if we have red. But my preference would be put the mixed purple in the center. So this is pre-mixed from blue and red. And then it's not completely dry, but. And then there is a yellow center, and I didn't take yellow because flowers need to dry a little bit more, so before we put this part and the yellow. I'm just working on the flowers. And then we could add a little tiny bit of red to shade it. So we'll have a lot of red on this rock before we actually apply this purple. Or we can wait until it dries, apply purple and take it out with red, it depends. So there are variations of what you can do with it. It's what you see. Right. I will wait. I'll make them lighter as well because I think I want them lighter. I don't want them too dark. So adding white and blending it with pink.
Dots are red. Nice.
Okay.
I like the way you blended the white with yours. How's your
Mine's kind of a mess.
mine's like, oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I find my hands just shaking too much for it to stay in the lines that I want. I'll call it abstract.
Yes. 100%.
so we can mix reds. We can mix in lighter shades. I just like using the pure pink and then shade it instead of mixing pink and then mixing another pink, and just simpler.
Nice. I like the way it blends. Cute.
Then we have this, the center can be yellow or it can be light green, very light green. I think it's just simpler to put a yellow dot, but some of them it looks like it's green. So it could be different from flower, but they're actually yellow. But I need to wait until it dries a little bit so I can apply this purple. And if someone wants this purple, you can take from mine. I mixed quite a bit.
Okay.
So it looks like a 5-star that goes from the center out. And while the paint is not completely dry, it's really hard to make it look definite.
I added a little bit of white to my green to lighten up my the stems.
Mm-hmm. And then we can take pink and blend it in a little bit more. Yellow for the center when it's a little bit drier, and then I can work on the leaves. And leaves here are indefinite shape to me. I do not know how the shape can be called because they're shapeless for me.
It really is such detailed work.
Mm-hmm. So what I can do on a rock is basically create approximately the shape that I see. Like it might not be the exact shape, but it's there. And then I will just go in between the flowers here with different greens. I got 2 different greens, so I can put 2 different greens and I can put some highlights.
Is this the same yellow?
It's like this, it's close.
That's the deal.
And then I can apply some highlights with white. Add highlights on the top leaves. If I take them out of the context of what's going on here, I can just paint a flower without any of that.
Yeah, the drying time's all right. Like it's drying pretty quickly, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. And then we can make the grass too, or we can just leave it the way it is. So it's an option if you want to paint the grass around it, or you can just leave the flower. And it's, this is the way I got it right now.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
So this is not finished because I need this yellow in the center. So I went with the simplest way, I think. And we'll put these yellow dots. And some of this process was discussed by other artists and also someone who's not an artist but wanted to imagine the process a little bit. So this is something I can get on a rock. Do I want to make several grass strokes here? I can, if I want to. A little tiny bit. I'll give it to you just a second. So I can shade it in a different way, but again, what we see is not always explainable to us. So let's say this is approximately how it looks like to me, but I would like to make a white outline and then it will look better, right? So the outline can be done with the brush too. So I'll give you the brush. And I can just use the white from here. Or I don't know if I actually want to use the paint marker for the outline.
Just gonna get a nice little close-up of that. Wow, very cool.
So this is what I'm getting with a brush. And then rocks needs to be sealed. So one of the options, the simplest one, is to spray seal them. What we need to consider when we spray seal is that the sealer can be used, like there are different sealers. Some of them have protection against UV light, some don't. And it usually is stated on the sealer. But even if it states it, it's not completely perfect to keep it for 100 or more years. It could be a couple months and the image can get off if it's done, if it's placed in a certain area where there is lots of raining, snowing, or there are rocks that can hold it better. So with spray sealers, it is recommended to reseal them from time to time. So if you have it for several months, you want to refresh it, spray it once a year or once every 6 months. So that's the recommendation. For
If they're still in the garden.
For brush on sealers, it's recommended to refresh them as well because they can be washed out with time. So again, every year it can be refreshed and
Cool.
Added onto. But if it's inside, if the rock is not outside in the park waiting for someone to find it, or outside in the garden, that's okay to not reseal it until it actually gets a bit, doesn't have to be damaged. You can just see that you don't want to add. Yeah, and again, rocks can be really hard to work with if they're not even surface, so want to make sure that the sealer goes in.
Yeah.
If it's a paint marker, it's spray sealed, would be less durable than the regular paint, acrylic paint. So it's more than one layer of spray sealer that we're using, and more than one layer of brush on sealer. And if the sealer gets off, the image is easy to damage. So if you, like if kids have it, as an example, they can scratch it off. Or rocks that some people actually, when you ask, someone wants a rock, and you ask, do you want a sealer or resin? And this person says, sealer is okay. And I say, there is an option that most likely the sealer will get off if it's a pocket rock. And that was okay with someone, so I went with spray sealer. again, it's up to the person who is, let's say, I do not say ordering artwork. It's not about selling you the artwork. It's about just making sure that the person is satisfied with what they want, not what you want. I'm not imposing, okay, you have to have resin, you have to have this. Artists don't usually do it. Artists ask, what do you want? And then go by what the person wants. So if I can make something that someone wants, I would not impose my beliefs or my, okay, I want this rock to be this and this, right? We usually don't do it. So we just ask, do you want a spray sealer or do you want it resin? And a lot of people would say, I do not want resin for one or another reason too. Unless, I don't know. It's like, I would say I would not educate someone about resin. I would not say you have to use this just UV resin because it protects better. Because I'm open to people having different, some people just simply cannot afford buying UV protective resin or UV protective equipment or spray sealers or brushing sealers. Many of them yellow with time, and that's okay, because we put it in a thin layer so it does not look yellow unless it's on the sun. And art pieces need to be taken care of and taken off the direct sun. It's not always possible for rocks that are staying outside. So I do not want to make people feel like they have to do things, because art and kindness is the opposite of being judgmental, right? So it's okay, do your best and make someone smile, and it doesn't have to be an extraordinary effort for you. You just want, it's an act of goodwill rather than act of pushing oneself to do the best possible.
And that's what I find with these rocks in general. It's just the reaction you get from people is so cool. It's just it's so welcoming too.
And right now in the garden we have something that is not rocks. We've got origami. And we can afford it because the garden is inside, but we have several artists here who make origami, and they put it in the garden for others, and they're butterflies, cute ones. So, always welcome. I would always welcome someone who wants to make someone smile, and origami is one way of doing that. Let me try this brush again. Let's see how that works for outlining. It's a little bit of a different angle.
How's your rock coming, Marty?
I decided to zoom in on some of the flowers on the one side.
Ooh,
So I kind of interpreted it in my own way.
So this is what Marnie's working on. Wow, that's so cool.
Okay, this is what I got so far.
It's beautiful.
I'm still outlining. That's why I prefer paint markets way quicker. Paint.
So yeah, Marnie and Kate, you both have such skill. Because also you hold it up and you can see the detail, but these are very small.
They are.
Our canvas is very small. So.
Oh. I see my cat's hair. I don't know how it got there.
Ace.
His hair got traveling.
Do you have pets, Marnie?
I do. I have a cat named Benjo.
No way.
She's a tuxedo cat, and lately she has been an absolute menace.
Oh yeah.
I got the hinge on my door didn't used to latch shut, And so my roommate's dad came over and fixed it, but now the cat, as soon as she wakes up in the morning, bats at the door to be fed, where she
Right.
never did that before. So I didn't get much sleep this morning.
Yeah.
It's only been a couple of days with the new hinge.
You know, my cat too, when I wake up in the morning, or when he wakes me up in the morning, wants food. He's always pressing bad at my toes.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be able to sleep through it, but the making the door bang is definitely efficient at waking me up.
Oh, you're doing like the exterior with white.
Yes, because the color of the rock does not make the flowers visible enough, especially the grass, green on red.
Right.
So I want to go with an outline, and it might be different color. Doesn't have to be white, could be yellow or any color that would make it stand out. And then I got this disconnected by, I can just return to green and add little tiny bit of green afterwards. And then the colors can be a bit different. I can look at the outline and see that it changes the perception, so I could add a different shade here. Okay, so this is something I have right now. So now I just want to see what's wrong, what's off, and I can add a little bit more of greens and something that did not work out here. Add a little tiny bit of white around this. And then I can fix whatever got covered and was uneven.
Yeah, so we're touching up some of the pink on my flowers. Now that they've like dried,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to touch them up.
Yeah. And that's what it's supposed to be. It doesn't have to be from the first sitting. Whenever it dries, it's like we can look at what did not look good and add to it. And we can add a little tiny bit of brown in the grass if we want to. Just create a different shade. shapes can become more definite when we add. What I got is what I got. Sweet.
Oh, wow.
Cute, right?
Beautiful.
Okay, this is my rock. So our kindness garden is located at Studio Central. If you're in the area, you don't even have to give, we just want you to take the rocks because it's so, I think it's so cool. We're gonna make little works of art, tiny art.
You never know what someone might need.
Yeah. All right. What color are you doing your outline?
It's sort of like a blue, like a dusty blue.
Okay.
I just blended the dark blue with a lot of white. So I wanted to get that sort of ocean
Yeah.
feel that it looks like it has in the photo.
Yeah.
I'm adding white and pink. Flowers a little bit more definite.
Cool.
And when the flower is dry, it's easier to make these little stars. So this is what I can do now.
Just a random screen in the mall. Just another day. I like adding the outline to it.
Yeah, nice.
Like makes it pop.
It really does.
Also, if I'm working with such detail, like forces your concentration.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like all three of us are just like honed in on it. I love it.
Well, it might not be the best flower, but it will definitely brighten someone's day.
Much better with the outline.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, wow.
It totally makes it pop.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm just adding, again, I'm adding the yellow on top because a little bit out.
I'm just using my green to sort of fill in and cover some of these red spots inside. But because the other greens have already dried, which is nice, it's actually a neat effect. I'm getting more of a grassy effect now.
Okay, I will just call it ready. Okay, so this is what I have. I cannot claim it as my best, but
Nice. I love this. This actually turned out well.
I love seeing how different they are from each other when it's from the same photo.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Looks good.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay. I just go and fix little things around that are not too even or something I just don't like and they're not really.
still in some yellow. Sweet. So these are going to go into the garden, right?
Yeah,
Excellent.
unless you want to keep it.
No, I'll put it into the garden. I want to contribute.
There, so this is something that is possible. Here, and anything else, I'm just going to go free flow, do something fun, but I think this is, if we want to do something more on the background, we could totally add several strokes, like I can take some yellow, add several strokes on the side. If I want to, doesn't have to be there, or I just want to feel it more with red. I might just get some red and take this flat brush and just go over it. And it will just make a lighter shade because it was yellow, but as you see, the stroke is not super even. I'll contribute just a second.
Sure.
I just want to feel these Because I was base coating it with gloves. Gloves do not go in the little cracks. So I need to finish it.
Oh,
with the brush.
nice. Yeah. That's such a smart way because base coating is just getting coverage.
Yeah.
So using a glove to just like put paint and then.
Yeah.
There.
Ooh.
Can put mine. There we go.
Nice.
In sealing them, can you use?
We
some of
could
that?
use glitter paint, but it's not the sealer.
It's
So
not
we
the
need to
sealer,
put sealer
okay.
on top, but glitter paint can dry for a long time.
Oh, now I want glitter paint.
Yeah. It dries for a long time.
Wow, that's beautiful. So again, we're just working using acrylic paint on rocks. We do have some Posca markers. We just actually used paint this time. But all three of us working from the same picture to create our version. These will go into the kindness garden as we talked about. It's at Studio Central. It's a rock garden where we paint, create these beautiful little art pieces. You can take one, you can give one, just something to brighten your day, especially on a day like today.
Yeah, we could always have more sun,
Yeah.
but less wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna keep working on making some rocks because basically we want to always make sure we have lots of rocks in this garden, so we can keep painting and doing some fun stuff here. But we will post some pictures from this demo. Just adjust this. So what we'll do is we'll post some pictures from this demo of the finished rocks after they finish drying. I think once they dry, are we gonna put like a little coat of resin on them?
Well,
Or sealer?
We don't have resin. We could use Studio Central sealer. Brush
Okay,
sealer.
yeah. So we'll get some pictures of the finished pieces and then we'll post them. And then we're gonna keep working on some rocks. We're gonna keep making some little designs. So we'll post those pictures as well for you to check out. So this has just been a fun way to spend Friday before the long weekend. Being creative, being relaxed, and feeling good about where we are right now in this moment. And that's together as artists. And that's just a really beautiful way for the brain, I think. So, yeah. Actually, yeah.
We'll come here.
It's easier.
It's simpler. Yeah. Oh my God. Guys, you're tall. You're taller than me.
There we go.
Okay, now
Okay.
we fit.
Thanks, everyone. Happy Friday. So we'll be back here next Friday. It's a long weekend. Have fun. May long weekend. It's just have fun, even though it's overcast, and just be creative. Remember that. So thank you.
Bye-bye.
Doot.